Thanks so much, guys. Coming up next, you're going to meet a very special member of the L.A.F.D. I am now joined by Captain Andy Olvera and the newest member of the L.A.F.D. This would be Stetson. Talk a little bit about how Stetson came to be.
Well, Stetson's he was provided to the fire department, to LA County Fire, through the National Search Dog Foundation. Okay. It's a foundation that was founded by a lady named Wilma Melville. She had a search dog prior to 1995, and she had spent a lot of time trying to get this dog trained, going through a lot of trial and error. She got together with a lady named Plaus de Davern, and the two of them together streamlined how to train dogs and how to pair them up with firefighters to try to speed up the process. 1995, the Oklahoma bombing, Wilma was deployed, and she took her dog, and while she was there, she realized that there was only 15 search dogs certified in the U.S. The incident was very dynamic, obviously, and to streamline saving these victims, she saw how much of a help it was that these dogs were able to narrow down the search and to speed up the rescue process. So after that, 1996, she founded the Search Dog Foundation, and her goal was to figure out how to streamline getting more search dogs out there paired up with firefighters. She saw the firefighters as being an ideal pairing with the dogs because of our, we're first responders, so we get out, we're able to deal with disaster and destruction a little easier, and it worked out. We have the bring the dogs to work. And so we're trainable. Firefighters are trainable.
Just like the dogs are trainable, right?
Just like the dogs are trainable. We are trainable. And so she saw this as a great opportunity to pair them together. They provide the dogs to the fire department at no cost. So there's no cost to the government, to the fire department. They provide ongoing professional training. That was also part of her goal, to figure out to find the right dog, to pair it up with the right person, and then to get this ongoing professional training. So they work 100% off of donations. It's a nonprofit agency. They're a godsend. They have over 74 search dogs certified now from the foundation. There's probably approximately 250 or so in the nation. So the Search Foundation has provided a lot of those dogs. It's a great process. What they do is they look for a very it's the highly energetic, it's the bold, it's the tenacious. It's not the dog you would want as a pet at home. That's the dog they look for, and they figured this out through trial and error to find out who is the perfect candidate. So once they get the right candidate, they take the dog and they put it in a prep home. Okay. And at the prep home, they get basic obedience. They take the dog and they'll go training like with the foundation once a week. And they try to get this dog ready. They acclimate him. Some of the dogs, they're from rescue shelters. So some of the dogs have not had a good life prior to. So they need to get them socialized. They need to get them able to be around people. And like I said, just the basic obedience. That's two months to a year, depending on the dog.
Okay, now Stetson came from a rescue too, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was from a shelter. It's from San Diego. Okay. So he actually came from a shelter. They call it the rescued become rescuer is what they do. Most of the dogs are all primarily from shelters. There are some that are donated. Occasionally they'll get a donated dog. It takes a very special dog to do this training, obviously. It's a dog that has to be willing to crawl over glass, shrapnel. There's everything. The worst conditions you can think of, the most uncomfortable conditions, are what that dog has to do. So he has to be a very special dog. Obedience, you can teach any dog. There's a lot of things you can force the dog to do. We found searching is not something you can force a dog to do. He has to want to do it. So it's a very, very special dog.
I was going to ask you, what can he do that you as a firefighter can't?
Well, obviously their sense of smell is above and beyond regular humans' ability. So what they do is when we go out on a big disaster, say it's a big rubble pile, it was a big building that collapsed. What they'll do is they'll narrow down the search area for us. So we'll take local intelligence. They'll say there were some people in the building. They might have been in the back corner, wherever it was. We'll take the dogs. We'll search them in that direction, and what they'll do is they'll pinpoint where that person is. And the way they do that is they bark. They do a bark alert. So once they smell the person they can't see. So we can have firefighters and other civilians on the pile, and what they'll do is look for the smell they can't see. So as they're running by, they'll say, okay, I smell you, I know you, I know you, I know you, and then all of a sudden they'll say, wait a minute, I smell somebody I don't see, and then that's the person they search for. And then when they get the strongest scent is where they'll bark and alert and let me know that there's somebody, a live victim. They only search for live human scent.
And how long has Stetson been in the program, and where is he?
Well, he and I are very new. He has done over the year, probably a year of training total. I have had him for the last 3 months, so I am actually catching up to him. I feel like,
Okay.
yeah, we're learning each other's mannerisms, our traits. You know how to work together. Like any relationship, you kind of learn how to work together. So we're not certified yet, but hopefully within the year we will continue to work together, and we will pass certification and be FEMA certified.
And what is his favorite thing to do?
His ultimate favorite thing to do is to search for people. It is amazing.
Now, how does he adjust to different noises and things like that? Because obviously he'll be acclimated to it after a while, but does it jar him or?
Well, that's actually part of the selection process. When they go to a shelter will identify a dog that they think is a good candidate. Because they've been frequented by by the foundation. So that once they see they might have a good candidate, the foundation sends someone out, and what they'll do is a series of tests. And one of the tests is a noise test. So they'll take a can with rocks or something and rattle it and throw it at him, and they want to see if that breaks his concentration. So right out the gate, he's tested on that. So that has to be from the beginning. That's not something they want to try to work through, because some dogs, they'll go through the whole process, do all the training, and then that might be the last thing that they can't get through. So that was one of the great defeats, that Wilma and Plaus came together and they figured out who the best candidate would be. And there's a series of tests they go through at the shelters, and they can find out pretty quick who's a great candidate and who's not. I mean, walking down the center hallway of the kennel, they'll just bounce a ball.
Wow.
And the dog that's going crazy because he wants that ball, they'll go, okay, that's a potential. Let's go through the whole test, and they'll do the whole process. And if they find out that he's a good test, then, like I said, then they'll go to the prep home, then to Gilroy, and then move on to possibly being paired up and getting certified. For anybody who wants to look on the foundation, maybe looking to see how they can donate or how they can help, or look into all the other teams. They have a list of the teams, the dogs. They have the story on all the dogs, and it's www.searchdogfoundation. And you can go online and look up all the information on the dogs, and you can follow them as well. It'll have an ongoing process. Their deployments, pictures of them on deployments. It's a very neat website.
Cool. And a very special thank you to all of the explorers and the firefighters here at 106, and especially the newest member, Stetson. I'm Maria Sorreo, and we'll see you next time around the peninsula.